My name is Julie with Bookshelf by Julie. Sometimes I forget to say that. Sorry. Welcome to my crafty space. I hope you find something here that will help you on your journal journey. This journal journey has begun and is beginning. It's going both ways, I guess. As I said in a previous video, this one is the one I'm developing for the one I'm going to make online with you guys. I'm using the paper pack that's not in my Etsy yet. It will be soon. I'm going to get it finished, but I have to work with it and see what elements I want to have in it and all that. So, without just repeating myself over and over, I'm just going to start making this journal sort of modeled after this one. I don't make two journals exactly the same because I always get another idea or something. So this one is the one we're going to be making something similar to. You know, I always put a photo flip in. That's the thing. This one has a little bit of a different twist to it in that I put, now this is big, this is 5 inches both ways, and so there's 3 big ones there, front and back, people can use, but I also put one going up the other way so that, because I had a little bit of space but not enough to put another flip in, so I just put it up the other way, and that's another space and that's another space. So it ends up having 4 plus the inside space. Lots of space for big pictures, and since this is going to be what I'm calling a celebration journal for anniversary, I wanted them to have lots of space to put pictures or journaling. I mean, you can do both in there. Then I've got this journal card that slides right in behind the photo flip. And it can be a place, it's backed with the file folder, which is just what I do. It can be a place for another picture as well. It's a little bit snug right now because it's new to this new home where I've put it. So now the next element, I haven't done anything over here. I've got plans, but I haven't done anything over there. The next element is going to be this, it's going to be a folio with a stationery set inside. Haven't finished that yet. Just the folio that goes in this big hole here. Pocket. We'll call it a pocket, not a hole. Big pocket. So over here, I've put a crisscross pocket. That's what I call them. Other people call them other things. This is a crisscross pocket to me. And it's got some nice journaling cards in here. New things that I've added to the kit since I showed it a while back. The ticket. Well, it's a vintage stamp. And then that's another one of the stamps that's going to be in the kit. Those little circles, I back them on file folder, of course. Then I've got a space going this way. And I've also got a pocket going that way. I did that so that I would have them sort of occupying the same space, because I glued it down here and here, but I put an eyelet just on the inside of this big pocket. And so that holds this corner of this crisscross pocket, so it has an opening here and up here. So I just thought that was a cool idea. This is the signature that I'm developing for this journal. That's some of my in the garden papers because I like them, and you know, wishing wells go well with anniversaries. So you've got all these papers. It ends up being about 42 pages that you can write on or put pictures in. I'm not going to put anything in these in the inside signature because I'm just going to leave that for the recipient to put whatever they want or write whatever they want. That just stays that way. So this is some of the pockets, envelope thingies that I made in a recent video. So what it is this is the policy envelope. This one is glued down onto the top of that one, and then this little guy here is stuck in behind. So it's a pocket envelope, a little coin envelope, and a policy envelope, and they all open and all that. So excuse me. So then I still got this back here to do stuff on. I stuck one of my tickets onto this belly band side tuck, and I've got some larger journaling cards in here. I decided that with this kit I needed the larger ones, but I also wanted to make some that were smaller. So I went through doing all that, making some adjustments and such. So let's put that out of the way, and I'll show you how to get started. I call them celebration journals. You can call them an envelope journal if you want to. I don't. It's, to me, this is the base. I have 3 envelopes. Now, you can choose any size envelope. You can make itty bitty ones. You can make big ones. You can make bigger than this ones. It's all up to you. I start by turning one of them backwards. Well, the flap backwards, okay? Then I lay that one over there, okay? This one I'm going to also turn backwards, but, excuse me. So what I'm going to do is this number here. I'm just going to run my glue around the... Now, I would have put some of this together around the sticky part of this. I would have put some of this together beforehand, but if I did that, I would be skipping some of the process of putting it all together and finalizing it at the end and all that. And if you haven't done this before, you might need to see the whole story here. So I'll just do it this way. It won't take but just a few minutes. If I can get this out of my way. I need my space here. Okay, so what I do is I pinch here. I pinch the top of it. Okay, and then I place them, get your bottoms lined up. Right? Get your bottom lined up. Get them all stackable, right? And then you just press it down. Excuse me. And that seals this flap to the other envelope. Does that make sense? So, okay. So that's what we're doing. I only do 3. You can do as many as you want to do. But for the celebration journals, I only do 3. Excuse me. Keeps it simple and easy, and you don't have your spine getting so huge, okay? Because that can be problematic. So, yeah. I just do 3. And you want them to glue together really well. There's a few places after you put it together that you kind of have to pay attention to and add a little bit of glue, because as I've said before, when you're working with envelopes or file folders or anything like that, you have to work with what you've got. Once again, you're going to line up your bottoms. Get those straight. Don't squash it together till you've got it straight. This is the easy way to do it. Some people try to slide their flap inside there. I don't do that. That's just complicated. I admire people who do. Okay, don't get me wrong. But this is just, to me, the easy way to do it. And, you know, like I said, I like to do the not complicated. Keep it simple. So crafting stays fun and easy, right? Excuse me. Okay, now you've got this flap. You've got all your envelopes together, right? Sort of just like what I showed you in this journal I was just showing you, right? Okay, so you're not going to pull this over and just squash it down. What you're going to do is you're going to take your fingers and you're just going to give it sort of a pressing on that edge, and then you're just going to kind of fold-ish it over gently. What this does is it makes, hope that shows, it makes a sort of spine. It makes a, yeah, it makes the squared off part here, and that doesn't put so much pressure on it for later, okay? If that makes any kind of sense. So what I do is, once again, you put your glue along the sticky part that you would moisten to seal up the envelope if you were going to mail it off. And then I'm trying to hurry. Okay. Then you get this. Don't just squash it. Fold it over like you did when you were running your fingers up through there, and give it a little bit of a press here. Once you get that down, your base is essentially made. You've got your back insides, your front inside, your front cover, your back cover, right? So that's pretty simple, super simple. The thing about envelopes is you have to go back over them. Now I won't do this for all of them, but I will do it before I finish this up. You have to go back over these places here that aren't all the way glued down, and generally on your corners is where you're going to have this problem. You go in and you just kind of lift this up because it's not glued. It looks like it is, but it's not. And then you just shove a little bit of glue up and under there. Now, if you have envelopes that's really kind of not glued all the way up through there, I wouldn't worry about that so much because you're going to mat this, okay? But you do want to check those corners, make sure that they're all down. And something like this, you want to make sure that's down. To make a journal, you want everything. You just want it to be in good shape, right? You don't want it to be having little bitty mishaps and such. So, well, that one's down pretty good. Okay, so check all your corners, okay? And go through each one of them meticulously and make sure. Now, this is the middle one, of course. I mean, but this is the one you're going to take just a tiny little edge off. Am I in shot? You're going to take just a tiny little, not even an eighth of an inch, just a tiny little bit, just to open that up along that edge, right? You can do that with a trimmer, with your scissors, craft knife, whatever you want to use. Just open that middle one up. Okay, so now I have this one that I've started, and I've got our mats. Let me put those out, boy. I've got our mats ready to put on here. So this is the front, of course. So I'm going to put, now I use the double stick tape. Use whatever adhesive you want to use. This takes a lot of the work out of it for me. So, simple, easy. I use the double stick tape. And I put this down on this. Now, some of them I put the fabric on the spine first if I'm going to cover it over with the mat. But this one I'm not. I'm going to have the fabric overlapping the mat just a little bit. I'll show you. Like I did with this one, it just overlaps just a little bit. And that's all going to be covered up anyways because, you know, it's me and I'll put lace on there. But think about that before you put your mats on. If you want to overlap your fabric or cover it over. Which way you want to overlap it, right? This is, well, and you can do it either way you want, because I've done it both ways, and it works out just fine either way. And this is just me. I put glue over my double stick tape, not gobs of it, but I put enough to where I can move it around if I need to, because when you put tape onto something, this double stick tape, it is really there. You cannot move. If you catch it right in the second you're sticking it down, you might be able to move it a little bit. But golly bob, it is there when you stick it down and you're not moving it. So I give myself a little bit of what I call negotiating room, right? So I'm going to I'll make sure I'm right side up. Okay. And I'm going to line mine up this way, sort of centered-ish. I hope I'm not sticking my head in the camera. Okay, I want it just centered-ish, right? So I've got more or less the same-ish border. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you know, like I said, lace covers up stuff, and it gives you all kinds of fixable stuff. When you're putting things down, they don't always go where you want them to go. They get all complicated, and yeah, then you put lace on there. Now on this one, I don't have to put glue down in here, but I do put glue along my edges because I do want those stuck down really well. And my envelopes are craft envelopes. You don't have to use craft envelopes, but I find that with the craft paper or craft envelopes, it tends not to stick as well as some other kind of papers. So you really need to get it stuck good, right? Okay, so no rocket science yet. We're just simply putting some mats on. I think that's really pretty. So that's the front. Get rid of my trash. Excuse me, gosh. These are our two front inside mats. Where'd I put those? Here we go. So I chose to put the easel here and the heart here. And this is more or less replicating the other journal, but I'll put, well, there'll be a photo flip here. But I'll put different elements throughout. This one's going to have some of the same stuff, but it'll be different because, like I said, I always get different ideas and go, oh, I could do that. So that's what I do. So, okay, let's get these mats down before we have 10 hours long on our video. Oh, come on. I try not to make them too long for you and for me. Okay. All right. Oh, good grief. You have to work with everything. Make sure you're getting everything just right. Yeah? Okay. I put the other mats on the back and the back inside pages because I figured if I showed you the front and these two here, that would probably be enough of you watching me glue mats in to the journal. So and if you know, always, if you don't get something that I'm doing, you can always ask questions, or you can just rewind it and watch it again. That's perfectly all right. I've done that with some videos that I've watched before. trying to think of whom I might have rewatched like that, but I can't think of anything right now. But anyways, you can do that. You can, if you didn't quite get the gist of it, you can just, you know, rewind it, watch it again. That's the great thing about a YouTube video. You can just, I hope I didn't put that. Ooh. Sigh of relief. Okay. Yeah, you can put things upside down if you don't check. Or maybe you can't. I can. I'm good at it. I know how. Okay. Come on now. So yeah, here you go. I was thinking about this phone call I got the other day. I don't know if in other places they get as many scammer calls. I call them scammer calls because it's somebody trying to scam you, give you misinformation about something or whatever, or get your information so they can steal your, they don't want my job. But anyways, they just don't know yet. I got a scam call, whatever you want to call it. This guy he knew my name, so, and you know, that'll throw people. It don't throw me. But he called me by my first name, which, okay, look, if you don't know me personally, what are you calling me by my first name for? It's generally a little bit of a hands-off kind of thing to you. You know, when you meet somebody, it's Mr. or Ms. or something like that. Anyways, he didn't even use my last name. He just called me by my first name. And that's okay for friends, you know. Anyways, he was calling me by my first name, and he was telling me all this stuff about my my insurance, my medical insurance, and that he knew the pharmacy that I used and that I should order these things or whatever. I said, that's not my pharmacy. Oh, yes, it is. This is your pharmacy that your insurance is with. And I go, no, that's not. And he says, yes, it is. I go, no, it's not. And he said, yes, it is. They use this. And I go, no, it's not. It's not my pharmacy. And he said, yes, it is. I go, no, it's not. I don't know how many times I said, no, it's not. But the last time I said, no, it's not, the phone went dead. And I thought, well, okay, that was entertaining. I guess, you know, he got frustrated. But, you know, I was doing something when he called, so it was frustrating for him to interrupt my day as well. Anyways, I don't know if you guys get scammer calls. Most of the time, if I know ahead of time that it's a scammer, I'll just, you know, push the red button instead of the green button, I suppose is what you'd do. That one I didn't know, and I was expecting a phone call, and it seemed like it was a local, but you know, they get numbers from all over the place, and it's not local. It's still wherever whatever it is. So it was a yes it is, no it's not kind of conversation. It reminded me of children, really. I'm like, you know, so I kind of chuckled about it when it was over and went back to my crafting. So yeah, I think it wouldn't be as frustrating for me if I didn't know that so many people do fall for those kind of things. And it's like they come into your home through your phone, and they are there to actually rob you of something, I'm sure, because that's their job. So so if you get a call and they say, yes, it is, you say, no, it isn't, and then they'll eventually hang up. So it was kind of fun. Just saying. Okay, so we've got our front mat on, our inside front mats, our back side front, no, our back inside, not back side, back inside mats, right? And then the back mat. Okay. All right. So we've got our journal base together, and we've got our little edge taken off of there. And this, well, I'll show you how to do this in the next one, but this is going to be the folio for the stationery set. That's going to be a fun one to build, I think. Everything has its own challenges, but hey ho. So there you go. That's where we're working at. Hope you guys catch up to this and make you one. These papers are going to be completed. This paper pack will be completed soon, but I have some others in my Etsy shop that you can go and snag if you want to. I mean, they're not very expensive. My stuff is not very expensive. Let me move this out of the way and I'll show you what I'm doing on my, since this is our journal journeys video for the week. This is what I'm doing. Oh, I did a video. This one's coming up. It may be already up. I did a video on this. I'm not exactly going in order anymore for some reason. I'm a little ahead and a little behind and stuff like that. So I did do a video on this, and this is a freebie that'll be up maybe before this video, maybe after. Anyways, it'll be there. So since I made this pocket as a sort of a tiered one, I thought I'm going to put it with this other tiered pocket. Goes well. And it'll be a hinged flap over, right? So that's what I'm doing for this. I'm trying to put this journal together, and like I said, this one I'm using mostly just the in the garden papers and the I like that sunbonnet. I've used some of the freebie. No, this is a background page from the paper pack I'm working on. This is a freebie on my website. This is a freebie. That video is up already. So anyways, just there's a library of freebies on my website. So anyways, we're going to place this here, and it's going to be far enough from the fold of the spine to where it won't interfere. So you have to make sure you're always watching for things like that. Okay. So let's get this in, and that'll be our summer garden journal one. Journal journeys. They are fun, sometimes complicated, but fun. I try to keep it not complicated. If I run into a complication, I try to figure out how to make it not complicated, if that makes sense. Make it easy. Do it easy. Okay. I want it to be centered there and kind of tucked in under that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me get my this and roll that thing. Okay. I like to do hinged things because they give you extra space and they give you extra everything without taking away from what you're doing. So that's going to be there. Don't forget to check out my freebies on my website because they're there. They're fun and easy. Okay, you guys have fun crafting. Thanks for watching. Oh, if you could find it in your heart to like and subscribe. That would just be awesome. Thanks again for watching. TTFN.